Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. All right, today I am looking forward to sharing with you my thoughts on a recent release from the Criterion Collection. This is a release that came out just the other day as of the time that I am recording this video. So I'm recording this video around the middle of December. This title just came out in 4K Ultra HD in a Blu-ray combo pack, and it is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. It is Guillermo del Toro's imagining of this classic tale. This is, of course, the classic tale of Pinocchio based on the Italian novel from 1883 from Carlo Collodi called The Adventures of Pinocchio. It's been adapted many times, of course, most famously by Walt Disney in this 1940 film, Pinocchio, which is an all time classic. This is the all time classic adaptation of the Pinocchio story. And now we have this adaptation from Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro co directed this with Mark Gustafson. Of course, Mark Gustafson was the animation director for another stop motion film called Fantastic Mr. Fox, directed by Wes Anderson. So you have Fantastic Mr. Fox from Mr. Wes Anderson was the director. Mark Gustafson was the animation director for this film, and he's co-directing this film with Guillermo del Toro. And Guillermo del Toro, of course, has a number of amazing films out there. Several on Criterion, including Pan's Labyrinth, which is a high recommendation. This film, you'll see similarities in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio to Pan's Labyrinth. And then you also have this film, The Shape of Water, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture and Best Director, I believe. And so just amazing films from Del Toro. This is one of his latest. It's from 2022 from Netflix, and it is now out on Criterion 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Combo Pack in this very nice looking Digipack edition. So I'm going to tell you what I think about this movie, what I think about the video and audio quality, and what I think about the special features, and whether or not this is a title that you want to consider picking up. And hey, is this one of the best releases of the year so far? On the other side, we'll talk about it. Let's go. All right. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio comes in at spine number 1201 in the Criterion Collection in this nice Digipack edition. And this is a film that he co-directed with Mark Gustafson. This is a stop motion animation film. And wow, what a masterwork of a film. I mean, this film is absolutely beautiful to see. So let me read the back of this case real quickly. It says, a classic tale is reborn through the inspired imagination of cinematic dream weaver Guillermo del Toro, directing alongside Mark Gustafson. Realized through boundary pushing, breathtakingly intricate stop motion animation, and you'll get an appreciation for that stop motion work and the special features through those time lapse sequences where you see the animators animating the characters. Great, great stuff. This dark rendering of the fable of the puppet boy and his maker, which won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, daringly transfers the story to fascist Italy, where the irrepressible Pinocchio gradually learns what it means to be human through his experiences of war, death, and sacrifice. Featuring the voices of Ewan McGregor, Kate Blanchett, Tilda Swinton, and Christoph Waltz, this Pinocchio imbues the oft-told tale with a bold new resonance about living with courage and compassion. Absolutely. I mean, Criterion always hits it out of the park with these descriptions on the back, and this is another example of that. This is a really nice telling of the story. It's a different take on the Pinocchio story, and a different, view through which you see the story of Pinocchio than is told in this classic 1940s tale here. So it's different. So I would recommend just going into this movie and appreciating this movie on its own merits, and not trying to compare it to, how does it compare to the 1940 Disney classic, or how does it compare to the recent live action version starring Tom Hanks. don't compare it to anything else. Just go into this film and appreciate it on its own merits, and I think you'll get a lot more out of it. And I really did appreciate Guillermo del Toro's telling of this story. It really tells you, it really shows a lot of the perspective of Geppetto and how he's learning to deal with his grief and his loss, and how he becomes a better father along the way. And I think they did a nice job, showing a different type of a Pinocchio character here as well, as you can see here. So it's a, it's a different take on Geppetto, a different take on Pinocchio, and it comes from the perspective of it being set in Italy during World War II. So slightly different setting, and I think that it was an effective story all the way around. I think the voice actors did a really nice job in this. I'll go ahead and open this so I can read to you the voice actors. This is the digipack here presentation. You see Pinocchio's nose. As he lies, his nose grows longer. As you see on the inside here, of course, I'm showing the 4K disc here. The Blu-ray's in the player there. But yeah, this is the digipack here, and on the inside we have this book, stapled booklet, which has some wonderful art. You see Geppetto and Pinocchio there in the woods. At the beginning here, you see Guillermo del Toro looking in on one of his sets, which is great. Just a lot of great art in here. But even more importantly, more than the beautiful art, is you have some great essays. Two fantastic essays, Sculpted to Life, which is a great one, from Matt Zoller Seitz, which talks about Guillermo del Toro and the production of this film and the influences. And there's another wonderful one called Branching Out by Cornelia Funke. So both of these essays talk about the production of this film, talk about inspiration of some of his of other things that inspired him to make this film, and talks about some of his other films that he's made as well. But just great stuff included in this stapled booklet in here. So a very nice package. I really enjoyed this telling of the Pinocchio story. It's one of those things where, again, I would not compare it to previous adaptations of the Pinocchio story. Just enjoy it on its own merits. It's not my favorite adaptation of the story, I'll tell you that right up front, but I definitely appreciate it. And I think going through the special features and you learning more about how this movie was made is one of the most rewarding aspects of this entire release. And part of what I think makes it one of the best releases of the year is how this amazing film was made. And you really get an appreciation for the stop motion animation process and all the work that goes into it. Guillermo del Toro's vision for this film, and how this film had been a passion project of his for many years. And it was in development hell for a period of time. Netflix eventually rescued it. And in 2022, they were able to complete it. Gustafson and Guillermo del Toro got together right before the pandemic. So they talk about a lot of the work that they did in the pre-planning and building their teams and bringing animation teams together. They talk about Guillermo del Toro talks about the process of, he actually used a animation team in the Guadalajara, Mexico area where he is from, because he wanted to have some of the scenes animated by Mexican animators from that particular area, which is where he is from. And that was very important to him to do that. And that was part of the passion that he brought to this project. And they just talked about how, they work with the animation teams and work with the animators, and they respected the animators to be able to own each scene that they were a part of, and treated them like, hey, you're an actor. You are an actor, and you are infusing yourself through these puppets as you're doing this animation, in terms of their movements, the emotions that they're showing. That's you acting through these puppets. And so I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Just talking through that whole process of how they managed the animation, how they storyboarded everything. You get a lot out of going through those special features, and it really gives you an appreciation for how this beautiful film was put together. So I cannot recommend it enough. In terms of beautiful, how does this look on 4K Ultra HD? Looks absolutely fantastic. This is a film from 2022, shot digitally, and it looks fantastic. I mean, when you look at the special features and you see the work that went into creating these puppets of Pinocchio, all the supporting characters, Geppetto, you look at the work that went into creating all the sets and all of the environments that they were in terms of Geppetto's house, the church, the outdoor sequences, and how that was basically created in these little miniature sets, and the detail that went into that, it just looks fantastic. That 4K really allows you to see that wonderful detail that went into the characters and the settings that they were in and all the detail in it. You just get to soak it all in beautiful 4K Ultra HD. It's a new film and it sparkles on 4K. You have the Dolby Vision, so you get that nice dynamic range and the contrast. So you have some nice, black levels, and it just looks beautiful all the way around, as it should, being a brand new film. And you really get to appreciate the wonderful artistry and craftsmanship that went into creating these characters and creating these sets. So that's why I just simply cannot recommend the 4K Ultra HD enough. From what I've read, I think the Blu-ray stands up at pretty high as well, but I have not watched it on Blu-ray. I've only seen it on 4K, and it looks fantastic. As far as the audio, you're getting a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, which is great. I do not have a Dolby Atmos system. I have a 7.1 surround system. So I heard this in Dolby True HD 7.1, and it sounds great. I mean, I really enjoyed hearing the audio mix here. You do get some of the surround effects, and I can only imagine that on a Dolby Atmos system, you're going to get a greater immersion in the audio experience with some of these scenes. So just fantastic. And then from a special feature standpoint, as I mentioned, it's a nice collection of special features that really helps you better understand how this movie was made, the stop motion photography process, the painstaking work that was involved in that, and just how Guillermo del Toro's vision came to life. And it's just fascinating. Guillermo del Toro puts a lot of love into all of these Criterion releases that he has in the collection. You see him on a lot of these supplements, and this is no exception. You really get to understand how the filmmaker saw this film and how he brought it together. Handcrafted, Hand Carved Cinema is a new documentary featuring Del Toro, Gustafson, and cast and crew, including the film's puppet creators, production designers, and animation supervisor. Really good one. Directing stop motion is a program featuring Del Toro and Gustafson, the co-director, which is really good. You get a nice new conversation between Del Toro and film critic Farron Smith-Nemi. You also get an interview from Ron Magliozzi on the Museum of Modern Art's 2022 exhibition devoted to the film. So this was an exhibition at the Museum of Modern Art of MoMA in 2022, before the film was even completed, of an exhibit that they put together based, using some of the sets that were finished. They were able to incorporate some of the sets into the exhibit, some of the puppets that were used. So that is really cool. So you get some really nice special features. And like I mentioned, the essays that are included in here are absolutely wonderful, that are included in this book. So overall, this is a fantastic addition from the Criterion Collection on 4K Ultra HD, with a very nice presentation from a video and audio standpoint. The special features are on point, and I think the movie itself is a very enjoyable movie and a very nice take on the classic story of Pinocchio, and just a beautiful vision from Guillermo del Toro. So overall, I highly recommend this release. I think this is one of the best releases of the year in terms of a total package, when you consider those special features and the love that Guillermo del Toro put into these features to really help you better understand how he brought his vision to life in this new release from the Criterion Collection. It comes in at spine number 1201 from Criterion. It is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and it comes highly, highly recommended. Let me know in the comments section below, what do you think of this film, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Let me know what some of your favorite films are from Guillermo del Toro. Is Pan's Labyrinth one of your favorite? The Devil's Backbone, Kronos? Is it Hellboy? Let me know what your favorites are from Guillermo del Toro. And also let me know, what do you think about the 1940 Disney classic Pinocchio? What do you think about this animated classic? Is this one of your favorite animated films? Let me know all things Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.